Hi and welcome. My name is Jared Sarton. I am the Dungeon Master for the Stumble On Inn. We are on a special episode today because we lost our episode from last week. Yeah, you heard it right. We did start a little late. We did have a nearly flawless show. Windows did crash, delete our stream recording, and we didn't have it recording on Twitch. So, I am here to hopefully recap everything, give you an understanding of what happened during the episode, so you can kind of keep up with the story if you do care to do that. Again, this is a special episode. We are on a little bit of a short time here as I'm hopping home on lunch to get at least some content out for you today. First off, we stream the first and third weeks of the month on the Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. We try to make sure it's a good time that all of our state fans and friends can watch. But yeah, we are streaming the first of, what is it? April now, huh? Look below here on Twitch. The schedule's there. First week of April, third week of April, we'll be live 4 p.m. on the first and third Saturday. So now that you've got my schedule 4 times over, let's hop to a few other things here, just some more announcements. We do this for free. We enjoy doing this. The group is a bunch of artists, a few actors. I myself am a software developer, but I enjoy D&D. I enjoy what it brings to storytelling, what it brings to communities, what it brings to friends, families, and anyone else involved. So we do this for free. We don't expect anything. But if you do want to support us, we do have merchandise. We do have a way to donate. In the next few weeks, we will probably have a Kickstarter for Season 2. Season 1 has gone off so wonderfully with all of the tech issues. We'll go into more detail about some of that and how you can help us have a stronger Season 2 and what we can do to kick back for the friends and family watching here. Again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this. We are so excited to just be doing this anyways. If no one tunes in, whatever. We're still having fun. But yeah, so we got that. So on Twitch, look down below. You'll see links to our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, our website, which doesn't get updated very much. It's just kind of there to hold our place on the internet. And you should be able to get to our YouTube as well for our past videos. This will go up on Facebook and YouTube sometime today or tomorrow to keep our videos rolling. But a week after every one of our streams, the following Friday, so today, since our last stream was last Saturday, the episode should go up. Today we're recapping the episode here. So, without further ado, I've got my handy dandy tome of knowledge. I'm going to recap some of where we're at. So if you do come back, welcome. Alright, we are in the city of Loudwater, a city to the north of the Sword Coast. Our adventuring party here had met just the day prior. Episode 1 kicked off with the adventurer party starting their morning in a not so usual way. They fought some poltergeists, they met a little goblin friend named TikTok, they explored some of the old city living below Loudwater. But the next day, after they explored and chased down what was looking to be a good relic that TikTok had brought their way, someone had stolen it and left a menacing note at the inn. So episode 2 starts off as such. Loudwater was quiet. It was almost too quiet. Many were afraid from the day before's events, the poltergeists attacking the spring festival. The team of adventurers fighting them off and yelling to get to safety caused a little bit of panic in Loudwater. As the adventurers woke in the Dragon Turtle Inn, their nostrils were filled with baked breads, meats, and other things being cooked downstairs in the tavern. One by one, they emerged from their rooms. They entered the tavern and they met up with Arvin. Arvin, the innkeeper. He greeted each and every one of them. "Oh, good morning. What can I get for breakfast for you? I've got meats, I've got breads, I've got anything you wish." The adventurers heckled him a bit, talking of sourdough and of oranges. Arvin obliged, and he went back and he got them food and brought it to the table. The adventurers chatted about the day's events that they had yesterday, the poltergeist, the city, and their new little friend. They looked forward to what today held. As they were finishing breakfast, an elven man with a leather apron, soot on his arms and a little bit on his face, quietly shuffles in and up to the counter where Arvin was standing, and he whispers something to him, and Arvin goes, "Ah, yeah, good friend, I'll get you your breakfast," and kicks off into the kitchen and comes back with a steaming mug of brew, most likely coffee, and a sweet roll he handed to the man. And as the elven man starts to walk out of the inn, our adventurers were a little curious. There was some talk, as they had heard from the town and from one of their encounters the day before, that there was an elven man causing some trouble here. So they thought, maybe this might be him. As they encountered the man, he was a bit flustered and didn't introduce himself and mentioned something about heading to work. Ari, our fighter here, is known to swing a hammer from time to time, but not at foes, at metal. She understood quickly that he was the town's blacksmith. You heard soldiers walking by, and the blacksmith followed along. It seemed that the town was gearing up to protect themselves a bit better than what they were able to do the day before. Our adventurer party decided, we'll come back to him. We'll meet him later. And the strong voices of Rumil and of Garth said, let's go back to the temple. Let's go talk to Lem Moonshade, the elder druid who worshipped in the Temple of Sylvanas and was kind of the overseer of everyone who walked in the door. So the group set out. They set out from the front of the inn and headed eastward towards the Temple of Sylvanas. Here's where things got a little funny. Our players at this moment spun off an alternate reality, unfortunately. As they were walking through the little park there, our druid decides, oh, wouldn't it be nice if I could just have some fruit for breakfast? I didn't get enough. The DM did say that there was a banana bush and a berry tree. And so as they approached the banana bush and the berry tree, our druid decided to grow some more fruits. But this spun off an alternate dimension because our druid wasn't able to do what he did. We lost a few minutes in that, so I won't go into detail, but it was something, Garth eating a lot of berries, a fruit vendor picking a lot of berries and bringing them back to his cart. That alternate dimension just goes off into some other turn of events. Clowns attack the city, who knows? Maybe Valari brings out a few more unicorns. We'll see if we ever revisit that. But in this current dimension, they did decide to go into the Temple of Sylvanas and meet with Lem Moonshade. The two gentlemen of our party, Rumil and Garth, approached Lem as he was sitting in the back, watching over the few people who were doing their different forms of worship, as this temple had been converted into something open to all faiths. They approached Lem and started asking questions about an elven man seen in the city, and that caused a little bit of hesitation with Lem.
So, what is it that you are looking for? I don't know any of you, and I can't trust you,
Lem responded to them. And the party was a bit taken aback, as they thought they were doing what was right. But understanding that Lem wasn't quite sure of who these people were, they decided, oh, we'll come back. We'll prove ourselves. They asked questions of the snake band that the thief they had encountered the day before had stolen right in front of their eyes. Lem was a bit afraid of this because he knew that the powerful elf was in the area. So, the party did decide they were going to head off to find their friend TikTok. This is where another turn of events happened where they decided to rewind, and one party member decided to go out on the bridge and lead them the wrong direction. But again, that other turn of events can happen in another dimension. This dimension, they decided to go to the west side of town, where the abandoned homes and buildings were, where TikTok was last found. They crossed through the center of town, still very quiet from fear, from the unknown. As the party entered the old part of the city, where they saw the home they had ventured into the underbelly of the city with TikTok, they heard pounding on a window across the street from that home. In that window, you could see the small goblin peering out, waving and pounding on the window to get their attention. This was a shop, and a shop that looked a little vandalized on the front. It said TikTok shop, scrawled in paint across the door, where a sign once read, Stone Frog Emporium. The party entered, and TikTok was very eager to show his wares on a bunch of dusty tables, a bunch of flipped over barrels, and a very makeshift shop. But TikTok was ready to set up and ready to sell. The adventurers investigated the items, and as they cast Detect Magic, they noticed everything was magical. Every item here had some value, and that TikTok was curating amazing things. As a few of the party did look at all of the items, TikTok pulled Valari away to point out one room he couldn't get anything from. He swung the door open, and there you saw on the shelves hundreds of stone frogs of various gemstones, of various ornate qualities. He walks up to the shelves and pounds on what appears to be a invisible barrier. This room was full of frogs, full of shelves, full of an invisible barrier, and no dust. It was very well protected. And before they left the room, TikTok did point out at the very top shelf that there was a very shiny, beautiful frog made of all diamonds. Valari rolled her eyes and walked back into the room where all of the new items that TikTok was selling were found. The two men put on the belts. Garth put on the first belt that he found on the table. Right next to it there was another belt that Rumiel put on. On these belts there were dials. They twisted the dial on one and it buzzed the other. They twisted the dial on the second and it buzzed the first. So they decided, what if we twist at the same time the dials on each belt? And at that very moment, the two men sucked into thin air and popped into each other's location. These belts allowed them to move locations. Garth did find a ring as well that looked valuable to him, which allows him to bring back a spell slot of a missed or failed spell. Ari looked at the magical items and, having no magic herself, picked up the one that looked the least magical. An old great staff, gnarled and twisted and broken on one end, and in that broken piece an axe head was crudely fastened. And as she investigated it more, the party was able to tell her what it would do. This great staff was not only converted into a great axe, it was a great axe of magic missile. So she now has a little bit of magic to her. Valari found a pocket watch, and TikTok said, "Ooh, that would be great for you."
TikTok wants to make sure you have the best things. Oh, TikTok's so excited. Oh, TikTok wants to buy his own shop if he could just sell all these things.
And so TikTok handed the pocket watch to Valari, and she opened it. A opaque screen started to glow pink and started to show imagery. we'll figure out what she does with that later. So the party talked to TikTok a bit longer and said, we're going back down to adventure a bit some more. You pointed us through one door and we want to check out the others. TikTok waved them goodbye and said,
"Oh, TikTok's gonna clean the shop up and he's gonna get ready to buy some more."
as the adventurers had tossed him a couple gold. Our little goblin friend stayed behind today. The party ventured down the stairs that they had gone down the prior day, back down to the main hall. Straight forward was the door that they had went through in the day before, and off to the right there was another door. Casting a flame in hand, Garth started walking forward. Sorry, Rumil cast a flame in hand and started walking forward. Garth right behind. Ari lit a torch off of the flame in Rumil's hand, and behind them all followed Valari. They entered a dark corridor where, as the lights moved about from the torches, two sets of eyes flicked. These eyes were cat-like, and they sat staring at the party. And as the party approached, Valari summoned a specter of a blade. She threw it. Totally missed the targets, but as the blade hit the wall and dissipated, and then reappeared in her hand, combat began. The two beasts rushed from the darkness. These weren't any normal beasts. They were displacer beasts. These displacer beasts are six-legged feline creatures with two tentacles growing from their shoulders and spikes on each tentacle. The displacer beast. La 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 la. Vocal lessons, please. The displacer beasts came after the party, tentacles ready to swipe and slash. The battle was short, but not without some craziness. Valari slashed with her blade and cut open the chest of one of the displacer beasts, but it still fought on. Ari stood firm and sliced away at them as well. Our druid, however, saw the metal on the collars that these displacer beasts were wearing. Yes, you heard that right, collars. Closed his eyes and reached out, and he lit the buckle and the charm on one of the displacer beast's collars hot red. And this beast was near dead at this point anyways, and it just burst into a cloud of dust, and the collar hit the floor. With a killing blow on the second displacer beast, it fell slumped next to the dust pile. Our adventurers investigated the collars. They were a leather collar with a small pendant of a dragon on it. As much as the players didn't understand, the adventurers probably did catch a little bit of understanding. This was the Zentarum symbol. Our players had bumped into the Zentarum a couple days, or the day prior, as they started understanding a bit more about the craziness in this city. We left our story at the end of the Displacer Beast fight, and we continue forward into episode 3. So our players gained a few new items. They gained a bit more experience. They had just leveled prior to this episode, so they should be level 3 right now. And there we have it. Day 1, they come in, they fight some poltergeists, they solve some puzzles, they meet a new goblin friend, and they see their first Zentarum agent steal an item they wanted. Day 2, they gain more items from their goblin friend. They head to the depths and they fight displacer beasts. Episode 3 will be coming the 1st of April. We have 2 off weeks this time. March is long, so stay tuned. We'll hopefully get some things going here. But before you take off, again, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a viewer. Thank you for being a subscriber, a liker, a follower, a fan, a friend. We hope to continue to tell these stories. Episode 1 and 2 are done. We have episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6 for this series, so we should have 4 more episodes, April and May. After which, I believe we'll be taking about a month-long break or so, and we hope to come back for Season 2. We'll be making a Kickstarter soon because Season 1 has not gone very well. And it's not because of our players or our DM or our story. I mean, it could be the DM. But what we want to make sure is most of our tech and most of our gear are bits and pieces that have been pulled together. I have some here in my apartment. Nathan and Austin bring some as well. And each week we set up, we plug in, we reinstall drivers because Windows is amazing. If you didn't see our post, we did fight a blue dragon called Windows. We had a blue screen of death. Killed our episode. We still got to air live and interact with a bunch of you, which was awesome. Thank you for tuning in. But we are trying to make sure we have the same equipment week on week, the same microphones week on week, the same cameras, everything. We want to make sure we deliver quality content. We want to make sure that we tell a great story, and we want to live that great story out a bit. We want to enjoy it as friends here on the couch, at the DM's table, and we don't want to have to be frustrated and bothered by all of the tech fails because we're hobbling it together week on week. So, look forward to our Kickstarter. It won't be huge, it won't be much. We do have merchandise. We'll probably give some of that away for backers. We will be trying to just get into a situation where Season 2 kicks off wonderfully. All of the framing here will be changed, it'll be improved, it'll be better. Hopefully we'll get some more time to have art from Nathan. Nathan has been doing a great job. Our logo down here, our characters on the website, and probably a lot more art to come. He's drawn it all for us. So look forward to more art from Nathan. And if you want to join in and draw some of our characters, awesome, send it to us. You can private message us, DM us on any of our social platforms. We'll get back to you. Otherwise, we can't wait for episode 3. Take a look at our schedule below. We'll be pinging it out on all of our social. Follow us, like us. See you in episode 3. And keep on adventuring. Thank you.